I'm also a board member with the Richmond Chamber of Commerce and the co-chair of the Economic Development Committee. But most importantly, I'm a longtime fan of Don McNay's writing. And it's such a privilege and an honor that he asked me to help him with his book tour of the duly best-selling, Wealth Without Wall Street book. And it is a privilege that I get to announce his longtime friend and mentor, Al Smith. Al is a retired newspaper publisher and journalist. Sorry, I've got a little... Mr. Smith deserves a much longer introduction. He's got a great career in history here in Kentucky. He is a retired newspaper journalist and publisher and is best known as the 33-year producer and host of Comment on Kentucky, a popular and influential program on KET. And when Al retired as host in 2007, KET Executive Director Malcolm Wall said, "Al and Comment on Kentucky represent the essence of what public television was created to deliver to the American public." And from 1979 to 1982, Smith served as the head of the Appalachian Regional Commission for Presidents Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. This past May, he received an honorary doctorate from the University of Kentucky. Many people, including Don, consider him our greatest living Kentuckian, and in November, you'll get to read all about Al in his autobiography, Wordsmith, My Life in Journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Tiffany. This is the only Republican I ever heard Don McNay brag on. All the time he was writing that book, he'd say, "Oh, Tiffany's taking care of me." Finally, I said, "What the hell is Tiffany? She's my Republican friend." Just kidding.
Now she's sufficiently embarrassed. She can go home.
Welcome, and this is a great pleasure. Don said I had 1 minute, and I said, I don't do 1 minute. There's Lynn Press back there, who was my boss for 33 years. He never told me 1 minute on KT. Well, here we are, and it's wonderful to be here to introduce this guy, whom I really, really like, sincerely. Not just because he says nice things about me, but because he really has been an interesting friend. From the first day, I was telling Karen, his lovely fiance, what a sassy young man he used to be when he was a community columnist for Tom Edlin's paper back then when Tom was in grammar school. Don was writing this column, and he dared me in the darn column when he was about, what were you, 23?
24.
24. He's a little older than that now. I don't know whether he's still Karen or not. He's not 24 anymore. But he dared me to put him on Comment on Kentucky. He said, "You've got all these other people on. I'm as good as them." He wrote this in the Herald Leader. So I called him up, being a sucker, and I said, "All right." So he came to dinner with me, and I found out he was amusing and bright, and I found out he really had done some college work, and I said, "As smart as you are, you really ought to go back to college and get another degree." He claims that that was responsible for sending him over to Vanderbilt, where he got a master's. And you know, he's not shy. Anything you read about, he'll tell you all the degrees. Some of these degrees he's got, I can't even understand. CLU, CHFC, MSFS, CSSC, on and on and on. But he's got one or two, at least, authentic degrees, and he's smart as hell. Don is bold. He really is. He's daring, and he's truly bold. He's an entrepreneur. He tries things that he's not done before, but he thinks he might be good at if he learned. You know, I don't know how many here know what structured settlements are, but apparently you can make money in them, particularly if you can stumble on somebody who's won the lottery or the Derby or something like that. And I think when Don was a young man learning the insurance business for Bob Babbage, who's sitting back here, somebody called Bob and said, "I need a structured settlement specialist." And Bob said on the phone, "I've got him right here, Mr. McNay," who didn't know what a structured settlement was. But he looked at McNay and he said, "This call is for you." And Don took it. I don't know how he got through it, but he learned the structured settlement business thanks to Babbage passing the phone over, and went on to become one of the top men in that field in the country. And he's also been in this $1 million round table for 1 million years, and that's pretty high in the business. Meanwhile, Babbage got rid of him and went on his own way with the lovely Laura, and but they remain friends, and they do get together on occasion. And once upon a time, McNay, who was busy in this structured settlement business, told me his first love was journalism. And he began to talk about wanting to write a column. It was an incredible story. He put together some ideas about writing about finance in basic language that people like me could understand. He got himself hooked up with the Richmond Register in the town where he lived for, I think, the usual fee for him, about $1. He makes his money out of insurance and structured settlement stuff, and occasionally out of books. And this column was really good. And before long, he was being syndicated all over the country. And I said, now, Don, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to get out of some of your funny politics. So he quit giving money to politicians like Babbage. How long has it been since you've had a check from him, Bob? Well, you haven't been running for office lately, right? Okay. And from there, he hooked up with another really great entrepreneur, Ariana Huffington. Huffington, who runs rings around people like me, the old journalism. You know, how many people read the Huffington Post?
The biggest news aggregator in the world. That's the New York Times.
That's it. And he's on the front page of that thing. Country boy from northern Kentucky living out in Madison County. This book, Wealth Without Wall Street, is really good. It's simple. He said he wasn't going to talk for 10 minutes tonight, and I told him, hell, you can read this book in 10 minutes. But it's worth reading. Don is worth knowing. He's a wonderful, loyal friend. He's a good parent. He loves his family, and he loves his friends, and all of us can testify to that. It's just an honor to bring this bold, wonderful man up here to talk 10 minutes about his new book.